I am Silven.
I'm Kaleb.
And I am the WinJennster.
I laughed.
And sadly,
Unfortunately, Winry can't be here today because of last-minute crises.
And I am the
So
WinJennster.
hopefully we'll have her rescheduled. And I laughed.
Yeah, so this week we don't have an exceeding amount of fandom news, but we do have some. Firstly, would like to remind you guys about the Tiger Man family fundraising, and there is, if I'm right, 12 hours left to donate. Yeah, if you guys could donate, it would really help. I think we should all come together as a fandom and do this because we're really good at that. We've done some really good stuff, and it would be great if you do. And if you can find the post on our blog, if I'm right. Did we reblog it, guys?
I do not. I think
it's on mine.
Yeah, it's on Jenn's blog. We'll be sure to reblog it at some point during the show.
So you could reblog it. Another thing, a nice thing we got this week was, I think everyone enjoyed, was the Robin Misha kiss. I think everyone appreciated that one. Personally, I especially like Rob's tomato red face that one of the photo shows.
Do we have a ship name for this?
Risha!
Risha.
Or Mob.
Or Mom.
That's good.
Mob, that's good. It's like when people started shipping Dean and Benny, everyone was like, Bean!
Oh,
Bean! Alright. Hey, I'm saying it. Manhandling. Misha manhandling. He freaking pulled him in.
Yeah, that was beautiful.
You're not escaping.
Hey,
yeah,
Kaleb,
but Rob grabbed him also.
Are you connected to your proper internet? Because right now you're kind of choppy.
Wait, who?
Oh,
Me or
probably not.
Yeah.
Here, okay, you guys talk. I'll sort this out. Hold on.
Okay.
Someone is saying Mishab.
Mishab. I'm really kind of sad that there wasn't that much fandom news this week, even though there was a con. Like, there was no, like...
Yeah.
It's really...
It was a sedate con.
Yeah, it was sort of just... It felt like it was really boring con.
Although, it did give me my favorite picture of Jensen ever, which is that face and the finger and the just, I'm so cute. Oh my god, I love that picture. That is my desktop right now.
I think it kind of makes sense because, basically we have been given the spoilers that, you know, they could give us freely for now, and we still have, like, around a month-ish, right? A little more than a month till the premiere.
Less than 5 weeks.
Yeah, less than 5 weeks, so they can't just keep, like, giving us spoilers all the time, or else, you know, there's gonna be too much.
Yeah, I guess, honestly, whenever there's a con, I just get really freaked out because I'm afraid there's gonna be wank. Because there's always wank when there's cons, usually.
This is a very sedate con.
Yeah, it was. Even though there was one spoiler that wasn't new, but that did draw a reaction. In particular, I had a whole congregation of asexual people on my blog who were discouraged by the news of Misha talking about Cass having sex, because we do think it's a pretty solid spoiler for now. I just want to say, because I know a lot of you guys feel alone, that, you know, I know a whole bunch of people who, because of the whole ordeal with Cass having sex, feel that, you know, they won't have representation like they used to, and I just want to say, guys, despite the fact that I don't personally interpret Cass like this, I totally feel your pain, and I really think we should, as a fandom, support, especially as, like, the queer part of fandom, we should really support asexual people in their distress right now. Because I personally know several people who are very depressed over this, and just, please, regardless of like, what your headcanon is of Cass, if you see people like that, just please support them, okay? Because we know what it feels like. It feels exactly like every time someone tells you that Dean Winchester is a heterosexual, you know.
Yes.
So yeah.
That's the beauty. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jen.
Yeah.
I didn't say anything. I said yes.
I thought you were going to say something.
No, I had a mouthful of Toblerone. Don't pay attention to me.
Okay. I was going to start saying that's the beauty of TV shows and characters. Everyone has their own interpretation on it. What really matters is how you consider your interpretation, whether or not you consider it as what it is, an interpretation, or as a or whether or not you consider it a fact that everyone else has to be aware of, to the point where you have to constantly badmouth them if they don't believe your quote-unquote fact.
Yeah, because, like, guys, there is rigid canon, and then, rigid canon, and then there's wiggle room. And, like, yeah. One interesting thing about that spoiler, though, is that Misha made kind of a point of saying that Cass is gonna have sex with a person. Mm-hmm. Because I'm trying to remember the exact way he was asked, and did someone ask if he was gonna have sex with a woman, or... Like, I think they tried to specify, and Misha kind of made a point of saying that he's gonna have sex with a person, which it is an interesting thing because, like, on the one hand, it is in part probably him trying not to spoil anything about the whole ordeal, like, but, like, on the other hand, knowing Misha, I do think that Misha is quite supportive of non-heterosexual interpretations of Cass. I would think that, oh, Tom is saying in the chat, it was like, what can you tell us about her? Like, knowing Misha...
Finding is him just saying, yeah, that he was gonna have sex. I'm still looking. Don't mind me.
Yeah. That, you know, out of all the people there, I think Misha is one of the most supportive people of non-heterosexual interpretations, and it's something that Misha specifically, like, considering everything else about his persona, would actually be aware of, and if he is being sensitive towards that, I would just, like, be really happy if he's trying to find a way to say that, you know, it's not any kind of rigid way to heterosexualize Cass, regardless of who he ends up sleeping with.
At the same time, you cannot take anything Misha says seriously.
Seriously, yes.
It's our biggest troll. I mean,
yeah, Jesus. but like at the same time, I do think that this one theme in particular is something Misha does feel for, because he is a pretty big supporter of LGBT rights, and he has spoken about queer baiting, probably the only person out of them all to have spoken about queer baiting.
Whoa, what's that sound?
My sister just opened the door.
Oh.
Don't shut the door! Well, before you were so rudely interrupted...
By a door.
Yeah.
By that door.
Okay. So, yeah. I'm just hoping we're, in the end, not getting anything very bad out of that.
I kind of feel bad for people who do take Misha seriously, because, like, they must live their life so, like, horribly when it comes to this show. If I honestly took everything Misha said to heart, then I would have been just incredibly disappointed that he wasn't going to be in Doctor Who next year.
Oh my god, Tom is saying the door to what? Another dimension? Yes, the elder him.
Yeah.
It's like that portal from Night Vale, where that Cecil went in.
I knew you were going to relate it to Night Vale somehow.
Oh my god! I downloaded all the Night Vales. I haven't listened to them yet. Give me time.
They're really just... Cecil's voice lulls me to sleep. Like this morning, I was trying to listen to it to stay awake, and then I ended up falling asleep again.
Hey, if I'm not allowed to talk about Teen Wolf, we're not allowed to talk about Night Vale.
Okay, I'm sorry.
I actually want to know more about Teen Wolf, though. I've been kind of, like, thinking I should start watching it, because I kind of got the hots for Garrett.
Okay, we'll talk about this.
Beautiful man.
We'll talk about this after the show.
Okay.
Okay.
Don't worry, people.
I just give it Kale some
Do not worry, viewers. We'll convert her after the show.
I
Okay.
can really dedicate myself to one fandom at a time, okay? Supernatural owns me.
Okay.
Okay. And
So-
speaking of Supernatural,
Yeah.
It's time for the Supernatural Experience questions. Oh my gosh. I'm very excited about these questions.
Terms.
So, how should we go? Who's gonna ask?
It could be Kaleb and you, since Kaleb was really excited to have Jenn on today.
I know, I'm so impressed. Even though Kaleb is
Okay.
apparently young enough to be my child, and that's alarming.
to adopt me.
His mama is a year older than me, people. A year older.
Yeah, I am the only person on Earth right now who isn't, like, young enough to be Jen's child.
I don't know, how old are you?
I am 24 in, like,
Okay, you win.
less
Yay.
than a month.
Thank God.
So, yeah.
For the Anon who was wondering how old we all are, I'm 17, Caleb's like 18.
18.
You just heard Silven's age. I don't know how old Maple is. She's probably like ancient.
Maple
I
is a
think
year
Maple
younger
is
than me.
22.
Oh,
Yeah.
Maple's 22.
Yes.
So that's
and
how old we are.
I am 36. Boy.
Mhm.
I am too old for this fandom, people.
You're so
Hey, Lauren, that
hot.
is not a whoa, you shush. Lauren Bagley, I'm giving you a verbal slapping for that child.
Okay, now we have to start the questions.
Okay.
When did you first start watching Supernatural, Jenn?
Would you believe that it's only been like a year? My husband was in Afghanistan all last year, and I was flipping through the channels, and TNT was on, because TNT is always on, and I had seen In My Time of Dying and Faith so many times. It's like, oh, that's the hot guy from Days of Our Lives that left to do other things, but he was really hot. He doesn't look quite so twinky anymore. I should watch this. And I didn't think about it. I didn't think about it at all. I just kind of turned it off and moved on. And then in July, Dark Side of the Moon was on, and I caught the very beginning of it, and I'm sitting there going, they just freaking killed their two main characters. They just killed their two main characters. How can they be doing this? And then I was like, I don't want to know. And I shut it off, and I pulled up my Netflix, and Hallelujah was all on there. I literally mainlined 7 seasons in a week, okay? It's all I did. I looked around and watched Supernatural. So, yeah, it's been like a year and 3 months-ish. No, a year and a month. Oh, yeah. I bought a new car that week, too, so it's confusing. Everything just blends together. So, yeah, thank you.
Mm-hmm. Jen's car is the best car in the world. If you haven't seen Jen's car, you should go to her blog and find pictures of her car.
Jen, look in the chat. Someone just out-aged you.
Oh, that's my Karen, though.
That's
my
Karen.
Karen.
Hi, Karen.
Hi,
Karen. Do your boobs predict the weather?
My boobs? No.
No, I was asking Karen.
That old.
Karen.
Why would you ask
Karen.
that?
Have you not seen Mean Girls? Karen's boobs predict the weather.
My boobs predict the apocalypse.
I'm sorry for the inappropriate question. Let's move on to the next question to avoid this conversation.
So, Shannon, it's totally appropriate for you. I know you don't have an appropriate interest in boobs, only strictly appropriate. Anyways, Jen, when did you join the fandom?
I guess when I discovered fanfiction, which was probably around September of October after the whole mainlining, and I was like, oh, okay, this is cool, but I didn't really join, I guess, until January, and that was after I met Andy Fiction, who forced me to get a Tumblr, because I'm like, I don't want a Tumblr, I can barely keep up with Facebook. Yeah.
Aren't you not for that now?
Huh? I am.
That you got Tumblr?
Yes, because I love Tumblr. My husband hates Tumblr. He's sick of me being on it. No, that's not true. He doesn't give a shit. Yeah, so I guess technically in October-ish, but then not actually until January when I found the rest of you crazy people.
I remember when I discovered fan fiction, I used to think it was a really just weird thing to get into, just because, like, I had gotten into, I think I've told the story once, when I was in, like, middle school, I really liked reading Sasuke and Naruto fan fiction, because I was in that anime phase in middle school.
Sasunaru.
I was such an awful 13-year-old. I was like I was one of the worst 13-year-olds ever. I was that 13-year-old that everyone on Tumblr makes fun of. I used like fake Japanese words. I used to try and learn Japanese songs. I was a weeaboo, basically.
That's awesome.
And then I didn't touch another piece of fan fiction until the summer I moved here to Tennessee. And then that's all I did. Like, I spent my entire summer just going through different fanfiction sites and building my library of fanfic. I think I have, like, close to 200 long SDL fics saved on my computer. I'm working on, like, dividing them up by, like, genre, and then I'm going to, like, release it as my fanfic library.
I seriously could not tell you how many I've read at this point, because I read across the board. I read all ships. Except for a few, mainly Krabby, because... You
don't like Krabby? No!
What?
My heart is broken.
I can't, I try. I would write it if somebody asked me to, but Bobby and Ellen are like one of my big OTPs, so...
Yes!
I can't handle that. It's gross. It's not gross. It's okay, you gotta think how old I am. Jim Beaver is old enough to be my dad, okay? So it kind of just weirds me out, I guess.
Cute little daddies together.
No, they wouldn't! Do you realize what Crowley would do if he had a kid? We've already seen how bad of a parent he was.
It'd be a cute old married couple.
No, they wouldn't.
They're adorable. Shush.
Okay. Anyways, for anyone who wants to know why our like title card looks like it does, it's because Kaleb had to edit it.
Poor Rod.
Because
hey,
Maple has no internet, so she wasn't. Hey, Kaleb, who's talking?
Oh, Kaleb.
Anyways. So, yeah.
You're trying to make fun of me.
So, our Profound Radio title card had to be edited by Kaleb, so we had to pick a different one, and he had to put these pictures in, and instead of making a gold square around their names, he just decided he was going to use a big old black square and do that. So, that's why we have our...
I'm not going to...
Because Kaleb is
this. I am proud.
So yeah, we've basically the reason our show is the reason it looks like that, and we probably sound like the way we do is because we don't have Maple with us, and we don't know when she's going to come back. So we are just sort of doing all of this ourselves. So expect them to always look as crappy as they do now.
Stop making fun of my baby, okay?
He's my boyfriend. I can do whatever I want.
You spelled my name wrong.
He's my brain twin. I'm gonna punch you.
Don't even go into it, Jen. Don't even...
Okay, let's go to the next question.
Pop says we don't have our handlers.
Okay.
I guess he means Maple. Maple keeps you all in line.
I don't have an angry English woman that I can make fun of every week. So I have to make fun of everyone else.
Maple is like the super nanny.
English woman.
Yeah. Kaleb, you read the next question.
She's like the super nanny. She's like the English nanny that just like whips us all into shape. And
oh, grown. Oh my god.
Oh, I would nanny to stay. Oh.
Okay. Kaleb, read the question. God.
Okay. I was distracted by Maple's boobs. Did the phantom scare you at first?
No, man. I was like, oh, my people, I have found you.
That's like my reaction. I didn't even think that wank existed until way later.
I was so excited. I was like, were you people when I was like a huge ass MacGyver fan and started a MacGyver fan club in my high school, and it was only like 4 of us, and it was just like, oh my god, there's like all these people that like the show. Oh, I wear my shirts out and people are like, oh, Supernatural, and I'm like, yes, my
people. Yeah, that is the best feeling in the world. Like seriously.
I feel like there seems to be no fans of it where anyone ever lives, because I always hear people getting so angry over the fact that they never meet any fans locally, and I'm just like, where do they all come from? Where do all the fans of this show go? Do they just disappear after they get off the internet?
I live in a fairly metro area. I mean, I'm right here in Hampton Roads, Virginia, which is Norfolk and Williamsburg and Newport News and all that. And then there's the 95 corridor, and I'm from Baltimore. The tags on my car are salt and burn, so I tend to attract attention to begin with. And then I've always got one, like my gigantic ass Samulet or something like that, and I'm like a merch whore, so I've always got something on, at least something that says I'm a Supernatural fan. So like I attract people, and they come out of the woodwork to talk to me. It's awesome.
I thought when I got my Samulet from my friend that when I started wearing it to school that I would attract Supernatural fans. Instead, everyone thought that I was like some kind of pagan god worshiper or something, and then they all looked at me weird because they were like, "What are you wearing?" And I was like, and then I had this really sort of thought: could I tell them the truth, or should I give them like some kind of bullshit backstory to the necklace?
Well, you know, that's how I met Andy. I had on my bitch jerk shirt, and I was at his work. And he came up and started talking to me. We were talking about candles because he worked at the candle store. And I was saying, I hate cheap candles. And he said something, and he goes, or maybe you just like to salt and burn. And I just went, oh! It was the funniest thing. We still talk about it because it was just so funny. He's like, your face just went, whoa! Like, yeah, pretty much. So... It's very cool when you run into other people because then you can like talk in code and people are like, "What the fuck is Destiel?"
Yeah,
like, if you knew, you wouldn't be asking.
I mean, and this is like, I can tell you, it's twice as bad in any language that's not English because like basically like in Russian, all the fandom terms are just like transliterated English. So, when you talk to another fandom person, it's like you're literally speaking a language that nobody else around you understands.
That's awesome.
Yeah, it's really cool.
That is very, very cool. Wow.
So, when did you start shipping Destiel?
Well, during that course of that week that I was mainlining it, and I was going through them so fast, I was like, I think I got to... The Man Who Would Be King, and I turned it off and I went, what the hell? And then I was like, now I need to go back and watch Free to Be You and Me. So I went back and watched that one. I went back and watched another one and I was like, Cass is in love with Dean. Oh my god. I bet nobody else sees this. I bet I'm the only person in the world shipping this ship. Yeah. Little did I know.
Yeah.
But yeah, that episode, I think it was exactly, I can narrow it down to the part where he was standing there watching Dean rake up the leaves. And you could just tell by the expression on his face, it's like, I want to go to him, but I care so much that I'm going to walk away. So that was what the moment that did it for me.
Yeah.
My friend is at a wedding and bitching about it. It's funny. This is the text I just got. I'm at a wedding. I hate it. I'd rather be home eating pie.
Was it from Dean?
Actually, it was from Dean's mother. My friend Heather, her son is named Dean. So
after the Dean.
After the Dean. And this little boy looks exactly like West Collins.
Oh.
You've probably seen pictures of him on my blog. He looks just like freaking West Collins. So yeah, she's like, I want to come home. I'm bored.
Okay, so Caleb's internet is being a little spotty, so I'm just gonna take over here. And what do you love most about the fandom?
I like how we get together and mobilize when people need help, like a situation with Gabriel Tigerman for one, or just in general, the respect. I mean, there is a contingency of the fan group that is just like assholes, but I mean, Jensen said, please don't put up pictures of JJ. So that one picture that wasn't released by them popped up, and it was like everybody was just like, nope, take it down, put it away, get rid of it. It's gone. The same thing with Steve or his friend's wedding. Steve Carlson, is that it? But his wedding pictures showed up, and they were like, they weren't meant to be published, and boom, they were gone. Or he said, don't send baby gifts, give money to cancer, and we raised like 50% more than they had asked for. And
yeah.
I'm amazed by this. I was amazed by the amount of goodness that comes out of the fandom.
Or, when we unite to do 164 stupid things in 1 week, but
That it involved kale and 8-foot-tall asparagus.
They're not all stupid things. Some of them are
shaving our heads.
Yeah.
Jenn is bitter because she had to shave her head.
I'm not bitter. I'm a little bitter.
Jenn is our hero. She shaved her head for our Gishwas team.
Oh,
and she made a bitchin' wig. That was a cool-ass wig.
I miss my hair. I have some really cool wigs now, though, but honestly, I just kind of run around with nothing because it's cool and nice and comfortable.
You look great, though. Like, seriously, I know I've told this to you, like, 10 times, but you seriously look really good.
Flattery will get you everywhere, darling.
Okay, so
go back. I missed the blue and the pink for reals.
I can ask the next question since Kaleb's not here.
Can I add a bonus one?
Yeah.
Then what are your what are your biggest pet peeves about the fandom?
I hate the wank. For real. I don't see any need for it. I hate the wife hate. There's probably nothing that gets me more upset than when people hate on Danielle or Jenn or Vicky, because that is unnecessary. And, if you think, especially the Danielle haters, it's not worth him or whatever. Hello, he picked her, so clearly he thinks she's worth him. I think...
Yeah. And, like...
Go ahead. What?
I don't understand why people feel entitled to tell him who's worthy of him.
I think
and why people think she's horrible. People think she's a bitch because of some of the tweets she's tweeted, and they're not horrible.
It's just straight up
at all.
It's just straight up envy because I think that out of all the wives, Danielle is the one to get the most hate because, well, she is amazing. She is really talented and extremely beautiful. Like, no, don't get me wrong, they're all amazing. J2M are all married to absolutely extraordinary, outstanding women. But when people see Danielle, they just see that kind of supermodel pretty that she is. And again, don't get me wrong, I love all three of them. I am so hot for every one of their wives, like, seriously. But Danielle especially pisses people off in that sense. And I think that really gets that whole thing going. It's just this massive, huge kind of ball of envy.
When they should all just shut up. Really.
Yeah.
The third thing would definitely be the shipping wars. I hate it because I have said many, many times on my blog, and I've lost followers for it. I really don't care. I ship everything. I write. I'm in the middle of working on my WinJennster Big Bang right now, so that's all three of them. I literally ship everything. Like the Krabi thing, I'm not a fan, but if somebody asked me to write something for them that was that, I would totally ship it.
That's a good thing. I'll have to keep that in mind.
Yes, I shipped it all. I likes it all. I shipped it all.
I have a soft spot for OD3s.
Yeah, me too, Boo.
Because threesomes are just...
Wow.
Obviously... There's going to people can ship whatever they want, and it really bothers me when people think that if you seriously shipped STL, but you also like other ships for some reason, it lessens the fact that you really liked STL and you really want it to happen. Like, I think I had a friend on Tumblr once. She was a multi-shipper. She shipped everything, but she really wanted canon STL to happen because she thought it made sense in the show.
That's how I am.
What is Tom? Wait. What is Tom asking me if I'm paying attention to?
Are you paying attention to that?
Tom, what are you talking about?
Clarify there, Tom, man.
Yeah.
He's just like, Shannon, are you paying attention to that? Okay, anyways, I'll continue what I was saying. And she got a lot of hate because she was a multi-shipper, because there were, like you guys know, that even in the Destiel fandom, there's those people that think that if you don't just ship Dean and Cass, then you're a bad person, and you aren't an actual shipper, and that you don't want... and that you're just an awful person all around because you obviously don't care that much about Dean and Castiel as a couple.
She got take this moment that even as much as I love this show and am involved in it, and looking right now across the room by bookshelf that is loaded with supernatural books, it is just a TV show, guys. It is just fantasy and fiction.
Oh my god!
And
Jenn,
it's not life. What?
You're making me so happy right now.
And so yeah, I was sitting there. Yeah, and to Snow Lantern, there are a lot of people who think that you are not necessarily a great person because you multi-ship certain characters. I'm not going to name names, but I used to have to spend a lot of time around these certain people, and I remember sometimes there are people who make complete campaigns, like just unfollowing sprees and send anon messages, and it's a really terrible thing to just see and to just know that it's happening just because you ship fictional characters. I mean, I'm not going to lie, I take TV shows seriously. Kaleb and I have gotten into fights because he sometimes trivializes the fact that I take television seriously. But there's a difference between taking a show seriously and just completely going off the deep end and thinking that this stuff actually is going to come out of the screen and hate you, and it's just you get too into this sort of like little fantasy that you have, like and you start blending TV shows in with real life, and you start thinking that if you don't do a certain thing, then you're going to die, and it's just, I can't even talk anymore because it just gets me so riled up.
What you're talking about, though, because I have seen this. I have a friend that is a pretty hardcore WinJennster shipper, but she's like one of my friends, and man, she will every now and then she'll just end up with like Anon after Anon after Anon, like, you should die. WinJennster shippers are sick. You should die. You want to go fuck your brother? You're just disgusting. You should die. And it's like, really, we have to go to death threats because she doesn't sit. Yeah. And it's not just the Destiel shippers, because the WinJennster shippers will turn around and do the same damn thing.
Yeah.
Like, really, brothers only. I wish Misha Collins would get in a car accident and have to leave the show. It's like, really, guys, it's a TV show. Why would you wish pain and suffering on the actors or pain and suffering on the people that aren't shipping? I'm just saying, I'm making the Destiel shippers sound horrible. Oh, honey, it ain't just the Destiel shippers. It is shippers across the board, because the Meg-Stiel shippers got ugly as shit when Meg died.
Oh, and to Snow Lantern, I am very well aware that an actual majority of the shippers, they're totally awesome. It's just that there's a really loud part of them that think they deserve this sort of right to just go into people's inboxes and be like, you're so stupid, and it's just. But no, I'm fully aware of the fact that Destiel shippers are pretty amazing. I mean, I surround myself with amazing Destiel shippers every day.
And I think, I don't understand why we let it be so loud, but I guess it goes back to the thing where we just love to hear the negative side, and we pay more attention to the negative.
And it's not even that we let it happen, it's just that there's nothing we can do. These are people who go on like Anon, or and then even if they act terrible, they're still going to attract people who like that stuff, like you're saying right now. But the point is, we can't really control them, because this is the internet, and they can post whatever they want to, and they can do whatever they want to, no matter how shitty it is.
Once you bring anonymity into the equation, then people can get away with anything.
Yeah. Thing is, it literally doesn't matter what side of what it is. Each side has its extremist, and it has its bright people, and it has its people who have, kind of low morality when it comes to these things. like, it literally doesn't matter which side of what we're talking about, whether it's, like, shipping wars or whether it's any other type of fandom preference. It's just literally, this happens everywhere.
And I don't care what you guys hear people say. You may hear some people say that it's more that WinJennster shippers cause more trouble. I can be first to say that Destiel shippers have that the terrible side of the Destiel shippers can cause a lot of trouble.
Yeah, everyone can cause trouble. Everyone can represent fandom in a negative way. Everyone can, everyone sometimes has trouble with thinking their actions through. It literally doesn't matter which side of fandom they come from, because these things don't do well for any of us, really, on whichever side of fandom.
Nope.
Yeah, and it's like Jessica says in the chat, it's in every fandom. You've got to accept it. It just
makes us into that extreme fringe group that the rest of the world thinks we are anyway.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or like my parents think we are.
I've actually had a positive experience recently. I know a family here in Washington that we talk to all the time who are Supernatural fans, and they did have sort of a negative connotation to shippers because of their experience on Tumblr, and I was able to change their mind.
That is
my mom still thinks we're an insane bunch of psychos. That's just because she thinks we take the show too seriously.
Well, yeah. Tell me about it. My mom had to watch me do Gishwas and kept telling me every day that I take it too seriously because
oh yes,
of the things I would do.
Andy's mom was a little alarmed by us.
Like Gishwas?
Like his father kind of was just like rolling with it, like okay, whatever. But his mom was kind of like, "You're painting a 10-foot asparagus in my backyard. What is up with that?" But of course, she loved it, and now it's in her studio.
I was the only one in this circle who didn't do Gishwas, and it was hilarious because
we missed you.
On one hand, I had Shannon coming home telling me that he's going to be in a cage inside a cage with his dog staring at him.
And the watermelon.
The watermelon.
Oh, the watermelon!
And then and on the other hand, I have like Silven dressing up in tea bikinis and candy outfits. And then I hear Jenn shaves her head. And I'm like, what are you guys doing?
If you ask Mapal, her favorite part in the video is me going, I had hair, it's gone.
I love that too, like so much.
And then I had Danny there in the comments saying that she went and did like a bunch of slides in a nun outfit.
Danny was in the nun outfit.
Just like, you guys.
He was the flying nun, literally.
The flying nun.
Okay. Okay, I'm going to ask a supernatural experience question now. Oh, well, hello, WinJenn's child.
Just what? Mapal screaming, I hate everybody.
Okay.
None of her brothers looked at her the wrong way.
Okay. Okay, someone gets the supernatural experience question started back.
Okay, where did we leave off? When did you start?
Well, we're at if you can pick 3 favorite episodes.
Okay.
This is easy.
Yeah.
This is easy.
Swan
song. The End, and On the Head of a Pin. Which are all miserable episodes, but I like the sheer amount of storytelling packed into all 3 of those. And honestly, the more I think about it, The End is probably pushing into the number 1 spot, or at least tied with Swan Song. But those 3 definitely from the beginning.
I thought that The Man That Would Be King was such narrative porn.
I have my whole list. You want the whole list? Let me see. I have my top 10. Okay. Swan Song, The End, On the Head of a Pin, Yellow Fever, Goodbye Stranger, Devil's Trap, and In My Time of Dying, which I kind of count as 1. Changing Channels, What Is and What Should Never Be, The Man Who Be King, and Justin Bellow. There you go. That's my
my favorites there. This pleases me.
A lot of episodes from season 8 have made it in my favorites. I think one of my most favorite episodes to come out of season 8 was Torn and Frayed. I loved that episode so freaking much.
I would agree. LARP and the Real Girl.
Yes!
Because the sheer amount of Dean character development in that episode was unreal.
Oh my god.
LARP and the Real Girl were so many good things.
I can't stop singing joy that Charlie is untouchable and she will be back.
For now.
Yeah.
Don't say for now. Don't ruin it.
It's supernatural, and when we get down to that 10th season, if that is indeed the last season, no one is safe. You know this. We saw that in season 5.
That's true.
No one is safe on this show. Dean and Sarah is safe on this show. Hello, 113 deaths in WinJennester.
I remember when all that wank happened with Torn and Frayed, and I remember just sitting there being so alone because I felt like I was the only one that loved that episode.
I love that episode.
And I really did love that freaking episode. Just because I love it when all these all-powerful characters cry. So when Castiel cried, I was just like, yes!
And I wasn't attached to Samandriel at all, so I didn't really care.
Thank you! Oh, thank you! It is so hard to find people in this fandom who were unattached to Samandriel. I don't even know...
Cute, but his character wasn't even developed. It's like, I would have felt more if it had been like Anais, to be honest. But Samandriel just popped up one day and like, oh, I'm here, okay, now I'm dead, bye, see you later.
I was just like... I remember sitting there slowly watching Samandriel rise to prominence and being so shocked because, I mean, I could understand why Adam sort of got that large fan base just because he was a WinJennester and his character was at least touched upon. But with Samandriel, I was just so confused. I was like, he's been on these episodes for like he's been in like 3 episodes, but he's been on screen for a grand total of like 5 minutes.
Right.
So I was just like...
Like, okay, he's chanting in Enochian. Hooray for you, Samandriel. Are you dead yet? You're a red shirt.
I think
when Samandriel... I wasn't really attached either. And Adam, for that matter.
I got attached fast because I think people were just really missing some new angel characters, and like seeing Samandriel with Cass, we hadn't seen Cass like connect to one of his brothers for such a long time. So when he sort of gained that in Samandriel for all of 1.5 minutes.
But that's the thing, he never even gained anything. He was literally given that mission by Naomi in order to just get him before he could talk. There was no connection between Samandriel and Castiel. It was just...
There was no chemistry, and I mean the actor wasn't memorable for me. And I'm like quoting blasphemy here, but I just was not attached.
I wasn't attached to him, and a lot of people hate me for not being attached to Adam either.
Now, what I was sad about was how clearly it obviously affected Cass. And so if he was good to at least give Misha somebody to bounce off of and make Cass sad, then yes, that's fine. We didn't kill a WinJennester, that's good too. So yeah, okay. But still,
okay. I need to do a quick shout out to someone who sent us a message. Sky Song the Dragon said she's been really ill this week. He or she, sorry, has been really ill this week. So she is thanking us for keeping them sane while the medication forced them unconscious. So no problem.
Welcome.
We are glad that our insanity has managed to keep you sane.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know exactly how that feels. I had surgery, like, last week. And
no one cares about your janky ass eyes.
Please stop, okay?
Yeah.
Have some sympathy, Shannon. Jeez.
No, because the first thing he did whenever he got done with the surgery, he was like, Shannon, want to see my eyes? And I was like, no, I don't want to see your bloody ass eyes.
You're supposed to be in love with him.
I want to see your eyes. You showed me.
It's sickness and in health.
Should I show you my eyes, Silven?
Yeah, you should.
And for your information, Jen, whenever he was starting to feel pain, I was very worried about him. Ask him. So don't tell me how to please my man.
Anyway, I know what it's like to be all drugged up, and it sucks. And I'm sorry, and I hope you get better. And I'm glad that we're here. I'm sorry that my boyfriend is being a dick.
Shut up!
The dickiest.
Thompson, he sent me scleral hemorrhage photos too.
Yeah, I did. I sent it to everybody.
Photos.
I think I was the only one that didn't look at them until like the very
Silven,
last minute.
Silven, did you see them, Silven?
I didn't.
I have a post. I'll have to link it to you later.
Okay, let's get back on topic with Supernatural now.
Scleral hemorrhage to Supernatural. If those scleral hemorrhage did occur in the series, I think. Does the Bloody Mary stuff count as that? I think it does.
I think so.
It was less bloody than what I had.
Okay, come on. Let's go back to the supernaturalness of the show now, please.
Oh, this is a fun one.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's super fun.
If you could write your own episode, what would you love to see?
Oh, God, where do I start? The first one would be the body swap, obviously.
Oh, yes.
I can't believe that hasn't happened. And Sam and Gary did not count, okay? It didn't. I want to see... this is what I want, and Andy says it won't work because Felicia Day is not a strong enough actress. I disagree. Let's see if I can keep this straight. Felicia Day playing Cass. No, that's not right. Felicia Day playing Sam. Jared playing Dean. Misha playing Charlie, and Jensen playing Cass. I just think
that would be nice.
That would be awesome.
Because Misha would get to act like a squealy, hyper nerd girl, and that would be just yes, Ari, I want to see a gag reel of that body swap episode too, girl.
If I love that idea, and I feel like my episode would be really weird if I got to write one. I'd bring back an old character. I'd want to write two episodes that it's sort of like one special, where it's sort of where Sam and Dean, they go to this town that has been plagued with modern urban legends, sort of like Slenderman, like a lot of creepypasta sort of stuff. And then they start investigating it, and then they find out the person who's doing it is a teenage Jesse. So he's the Antichrist.
The Antichrist, yeah.
Okay,
I was processing.
That is something I never understood, like why they never brought Jesse back, because he was supposed to be so powerful, and he's just out there somewhere.
Give it time.
I feel like
natural. Everybody comes back.
And he's really just he's a really random character, but I really liked his character, and I think that they had a lot of storytelling potential with his character that they sort of squandered by making him just vanish to nowhere. So I really would like to see him come back in that sort of way. Like, he's a teenager now, and he's got these superpowers, and he's probably like into the internet, and he doesn't go out anywhere, and he's just sort of making all this stuff happen without realizing it.
The other thing I wanna see, but I might end up writing it, is I would like to do like a Christmas Carol / Wonderful Life kind of thing, where Dean gets to go back and see all the good he's done and how it's changed the world for the better, so that he can maybe stop feeling so crappy about himself and realize,
Jenn, you want a
right in my life.
Episode.
And not totally fluff, but totally fluff.
No, it wouldn't be totally fluff. Must I remind you of the Ghost of Christmas Future?
True enough.
The unfluffiest character in a fluffy story ever.
Listen. Because then the Ghost of Christmas Future could show what would happen if him and Cass don't get together. Oh my god, I'm gonna write this. Where's my notepad?
Oh my god.
Alright, I'm gonna say it. I know it's on everybody's mind, so I'm gonna go ahead and say it. Gender swap episode.
Yes.
Yeah.
Agreed.
Gender swap.
You know what where they meet their female counterparts. That would work too. No,
I would hire.
They could do that. They could get the Fates to transport them to another universe where they are females.
I'm just like, I hope to God it's on their list of things that they want to try and do. But for the love of God, come on, guys! 10 seasons. You got time for this. You totally got time for this.
And remember that also that other fan news that we got that it could go well over 10 seasons.
Yeah.
Because apparently they're introducing this big ol' arc this season that I can't wait to see.
How can they introduce a big ol' arc? They already have a big ol' arc that they're working on.
We'll see.
It's another one. Yeah. I would do one thing. I would hire Matt Stone and Trey Parker and have them write the musical episode.
Yes! Oh my god. So much yes. So much yes.
You know what's funny? Jensen would kill it, because he's such an amazing singer.
And I have no idea how Jared can sing. Maybe the only reason they haven't been doing a musical episode is because Jared, when he tries to sing, sounds like a dying camel.
He can rap! He can rap
or dramatically rhyme.
Like, I remember watching the Buffy the Vampire Slayer musical episode and just laughing because the dude who played Xander couldn't sing. The dude who played Xander was such a terrible singer. And so was Buffy.
Hannigan wasn't that great either.
Like, they were all just really bad, except for Giles and Tara.
Well, you know, some people might just do it for the fun.
Oh, yeah, and Kripke and Jensen decided that Dean can't sing.
Well, in this episode... in this episode, that's going to change. Because I want him to... I want Jensen to sing his little heart out.
Right?
But who knows?
I
Maybe
listen
the
to
actors...
Angelus, like, all the freaking time.
Sure, dude, it's on my Destiel playlist.
Isn't it pronounced Angeles?
Oh my god, I'm sorry, but releasing a song named Angelus on the anniversary of Dean and Cass's meeting, I literally don't care if they actually meant it like this. It's my headcanon and nothing can break it.
No, Shannon, it's Angelus.
Is
it's about
like Los Angeles.
Yeah.
My children are screaming at each other. I kind of like it. It's amusing.
Alright, next question.
Yep.
Do you have a favorite writer? Sorry, Silven.
I have an ass
Yeah,
ton.
that's good.
I have an ass ton. An ass ton.
What?
We can start with Tamara Naradani, who just finished Carry On. I know you have read Carry On. It's amazing.
Oh.
Matilda Mavis is in the middle of this thing called Wayward Sons, and it's really good. But pretty much everything she's written is good.
Jen, we meant like a writer on the show, like.
I'm an idiot. Ben Edlund, but he's gone.
That's okay. We are gonna.
And Jeremy Carver himself, I think, is extremely good. I got confused. I was looking. Don't mind me.
Oh my god,
guys!
Kaleb, you got a creepy duck.
Yeah, I was about to say, guys, Silven, go look at that. That's terrifying.
Look at what?
Yeah, I'm putting it on the chat.
What are you talking about?
Cass Dash has the phone box sent us this creepy ass duck for Kaleb.
Because I thought everybody said Kaleb, creepy ducks, creepy eyes.
She delivered, Jen. Just look at this.
Yes, that's amazing. It's a demon duck. It's Alistair duck. Wait, it has red eyes. Okay, it's Crowley duck.
So yeah, that happened. I just thought that could be... That's a duck, apparently, Tom.
That's a Crossroads duck.
Well, thank you for that, Cass, as the police box. Awesome. Thank you very much.
Yay!
Oh, we lost 2 viewers. I think we legitimately scared 2 viewers away.
With the creepy duck. I'm sorry, guys. It's kind of an inside joke. Well, not really inside. I mean, that one.
Oh God, I have received a duck.
Oh God, I have received a duck. Everyone who has listened to the podcast where Andy was our guest knows what that is.
That was the one that I think was Andy on that time.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, it was Andy.
That was funny.
Oh
yes, that was also the episode that coined it's Darling Dubstep. And
it's Darling Dubstep Disco.
And my favorite thing ever, it's a commercial, you asshole. Oh, I can't say it, her saucy accent.
Okay.
I believe her exact words were, it's a commercial, you fucker.
Okay.
Yeah.
So your favorite
yeah.
writer was Ben Edlund.
It is Ben Edlund. But
Okay.
I like Carver and Glass and Robbie Thompson too. I like all of them.
Same.
And Kripke himself.
Mm-hmm.
Can I just say, I am so waiting for the first episode from Robert Burns.
Yes.
Right? Yes.
I am hoping that
Yeah.
he's a good
Have we
writer. I am
talked about
praying
that
that he's a
yet?
good writer. Yeah, we have.
We
You weren't on.
talked about Robert Burns, yes.
Okay, good.
We are excited.
I am just really nervous that he's going to be a terrible writer.
But like, no, I mean, come on.
That's just Shannon, y'all. That's just Shannon.
That's just Shannon, but also, like, Adam Glass tweeted that he, like, I think they got the script. He wrote his first episode already, basically, and Adam Glass tweeted that it was really great.
Mm-hmm.
If I'm right, and yeah, so I do think everything's going well there.
And as Tom says, his episode from Ringer are highly rated, so
But the
obviously
Ringer...
he's proven himself.
What is Ringer?
I don't know, but it's something.
Was
Tom
it
got-
Misha?
It was a show that starred Sarah Michelle Gellar.
Yes.
What's her
I know
face?
it is. Sarah Michelle Buffy.
Yeah, Sarah Michelle Buffy. And it was actually it was actually not that great of a show, but there were some episodes apparently that were really good. So,
And he wrote those, so there we go.
Yeah, and like, honestly, guys, at this point, they wouldn't, invite just anyone into the writing team. If they're hiring someone, it's because they're sure that he's gonna be good.
Mm-hmm.
yeah.
They wouldn't let any old riffraff in there.
So yeah,
No chance of me getting hired then.
tell us who your favorite characters are. What?
I said they ain't letting no riffraff in there, and then Jen's just like, well, they're not hiring me then.
Oh. So, who are your favorite supporting characters?
Charlie and... what? I said Charlie.
Yes.
Charlie, Garth, and Kevin, and I need Gabe back. Please bring me Gabe back.
Oh no.
I miss the trick.
Oh yes.
No.
Yeah.
I feel like I'm never going to find someone that thinks about these characters the same way I do. I don't want Gabe to come back.
Well, now that's interesting.
She agreed with you on the Samandriel thing, so.
But the interesting thing is because there's another question you're about to ask me about undoing a character death, and it wouldn't be Gabe or Bobby. So I missed Gabe, but I wouldn't. He's not who I would choose to bring back.
Okay, good. Okay.
So there.
So, ask the next one, somebody.
Okay. If you were a monster of the week, what would you be?
A demon, so I can throw them around.
Yes.
Throwing people into walls.
I just like being the mischievous evil one. Is that wrong?
Aren't you that anyway?
Yes.
No.
Exactly.
Isn't that your normal function?
That's just my normal state, except I don't have the abilities.
So you would be a little
In my
leprechaun,
face.
you would. Caleb would be a leprechaun.
He's too tall.
My
He's like
face.
almost 6 foot.
I'm like
Yeah.
6 foot, so
So you'd
no,
be
I
a
ain't
loose
leprechaun.
leprechaun.
He's a giant leprechaun.
No, I would be a demon, except I wouldn't be as ugly. Because
Okay.
apparently they're supposed to be hideous.
Okay.
Shannon!
Jen, if you had demon eyes, I would like you even more.
I do have demon eyes in my...
Hey,
I
I was
said
halfway
Jen.
there.
Well,
I had
somebody
demon
Photoshop
eyes
me then.
this week. I had bloody, gross demon eyes, and they were awesome.
Ew,
And they-
okay. We are going to the next question.
Oh my god. You're gonna set something like those bloody eyes.
It will be the last question.
I'm obsessed with them. I'm sorry.
I'm trying to get them to gear themselves back to the supernatural experience, but they're too fixated on
Do it.
Caleb's ratchet eyes.
Do it.
If you could undo one character death, which character would it be?
Okay, so like I said, I know y'all expect me to say Gabe or Bobby, but actually I wouldn't. I'm looking at it from a storytelling perspective. I think the most effective character to bring back at this point in time would be freaking Bella.
Yes.
Bella?
Oh,
And
I love Bella.
Explain.
Bella's sitting in hell all this time, so she's an angry demon, and she would come out with I am going to find me some Winchesters, and I am going to end them. The other thing is, and there's this thing going around about Adam coming back and being the big bad, and like people just start disappearing, and I want to do that with Bella.
Yeah. I want Bella to be the big bad.
Yeah.
Though, I feel like people would be upset that they brought another female to be the big bad, but whatever.
Ooh.
Well,
Abaddon was awesome, guys.
Guys, can I address a question that an Anon asked?
Yeah.
Anon asked, can I ask something? Your broadcast is derailed a bit from what it was in the first episodes. I liked it much better back then. I'm really interested. What were the reasons for the change? Okay. So,
first off, the series is...
Kaleb, we're not trying to be sassy right now.
Well,
because I don't think it was a malicious question. I actually think it was a good question.
No.
So when we started the show, when we actually started doing the show, Supernatural was in the middle of its season. We really had a lot more to talk about, and also we didn't just have Supernatural to talk about. We had the Profound Bond website. We had we were a new show, and there was tons of stuff that we had to talk about, whether it be LGBT rights in the show, LGBT stuff that we've already said in past episodes that would sound repetitive now. That, coupled with the fact that the show has ended and there hasn't really been that much sort of news, we really can't be like we were in the beginning because we don't have the same sort of information. We don't have the same sort of stuff that we had before. Before we had the show, we had a website that was constantly being updated. We didn't really... I don't know how to phrase it. We had more stuff to do. And now with this show, it was this summer thing. It was really meant to just be a sort of fun thing that we could do. Yeah. I mean, we aren't. Obviously, we're not taking this uber seriously like we would when the show would come on, because for me this summer, and for me since school started, these segments that we've been doing have been a way for me to get to know new people, for you guys to get to know new people, for you guys to get to know people in the fandom. It's not as serious and it's not as large as it was before. So if it seems like we're rambling on and we're doing all of this stuff, it's mainly because we don't have that much to talk about. So we're just sort of getting on here and we're trying to entertain you guys for a few hours. And if it doesn't entertain you... Oh, sorry, Silven.
Yeah. Thing is, guys, right now the scheme of each episode is different because we don't have a new Supernatural episode to talk about every week, and this is why we interview fandom people. Like, our summer shows, that's what they're aimed at. It's mainly inviting fandom people and talking about fan work, which is naturally not as exciting for, like, fandom altogether because it's just particular people from fandom. When the season starts again, we're going to get back to our old layout, pretty much, which will be mainly episode discussion, episode review of all the topics raised in each episode, and you'll see what you used to see again when the show was on.
I mean, I like, seriously, guys, when the shows were on, this is how our show works. I remember it, because I really do miss it. I miss being able to talk about the episodes, because to me, it was just so much more riveting for you guys to listen to. And because I'm not gonna toot our own horns, but we were pretty controversial. Anyways, we would literally talk about the episode. We would review it for an hour, and then you guys would be able to send us questions about stuff. And right now, obviously, you guys don't have a lot of questions because the show hasn't started back, and there's barely been any fan news. So really, it's sort of just these summer things were definitely more fandom generated, And to a lot of people, that just wasn't interesting. Once the show starts back, you can expect they're going to be doing a lot of advertisements, a lot of like promotions for discussions and stuff that we're going to do. It's going to be, we're much more when the show goes on hiatus, we sort of tone ourselves down a little bit because there's really not that much we can talk about. Like we have maybe 30 to 50 people that watch us over this summer, and that's all we really need. So, yeah. So that's why. But I promise you, if you're thinking that you should stop watching because this is how it's always going to be, it's not. I promise.
Like, no, guys, we just don't have that much stuff to talk about. Like, that's literally it.
Yes, like I said, the show's on hiatus, so...
Yeah.
Yeah, I know, but I thought you were going to get all sassy and stuff. Because that's what you do.
There are still fun things to talk about, like the con, but VanCon wasn't very eventful.
Yeah, over the summer, mainly our general source of fandomness is cons, and half the time people don't even want to hear shit about cons because cons are so freaking dramatic all the time. It's seriously.
No, not the cons themselves, it's just mostly the people that make it dramatic, but...
Yeah, it's just...
Hardly the cons themselves are dramatic.
So yeah, if you guys want to tell people that, just in case you've had people sort of think that we've gone off our deep end and we're never going to be the same show that we were before, we will be. I promise.
Yeah.
It's just
don't have anything to talk about right now.
Yeah. Like, what are we supposed to do? Make up fandom news?
Yeah, just copy and paste Shannon's long ass.
Make it up. Isn't that what SPN Gossip does?
Oh, okay. Look at Jenn trying to be on controversial
Jenn.
shit.
Ah, yes.
Jenn is just equally as sassy as I am.
Yeah, Jenn is our sassy goddess of sass.
Someone asked us before we get back to the lovely Jenn. Someone asked us, not to be stupid, but did you say we were having a premiere party? Are we having a premiere party?
I am pretty sure we are. Yes, we did talk about that.
I'd like to have a premiere party.
See, the thing with the premiere party is, though, we have to make sure we have a lot of people partying with us.
Yeah.
And I gotta go find, like, damn streams and stuff. Like,
I would love to make it a regular thing. Like, we'll have a premiere party, and then we'll have, like, a finale party like we did.
Exactly, yeah.
Who knows? Maybe I'll even keep the chat on, and I'll watch the episode with you guys.
Ow!
All of you, every single one of you. And you can hear me scream and yell and just flip out.
You can hear her making all of those gay noises.
To Karen, if you want to ever listen to this stuff, I'm pretty sure there's certain apps that you can get to listen to live stream and stuff on your phones, but I'm not sure. She was asking if she could listen to live streams on mobile devices, and that's really hard to do.
Yeah, live stream on mobile devices are not the best.
But yeah, you guys, mainly if we want to have a premiere party, it wouldn't be as fun if we didn't have the same amount of people watching when we started just on, because it just, I don't know, I feel like it would be kind of So if we can get a lot of people, then we can call it a premiere party, and we can watch the episode, and we can do everything that happened in the finale party last year. Not last year, a few months ago. What am I talking about?
Maybe going on 4 days without sleep, and we'll hopefully actually say.
I still haven't forgiven you for that, Silven.
What?
How did you do that to yourself?
What was that noise?
What is okay? Someone explain to me what Toblerone is.
Go right ahead, Jenn.
It's this chocolate, dude. Oh, it's so good. I will read the label. It is, the one I have is Swiss milk chocolate with salted caramelized almonds and honey and almond nougat. In fact, in the episode where Dean runs off to help Benny, Blood Brother maybe, he says, "Can I take the Toblerone?"
Oh god, I love Toblerone so much.
Chocolate is just the best.
Ooh.
It is.
And one day, I want to go out and have real European chocolate because apparently the American stuff isn't as good.
I would like to ask. We should ask everybody right now. Hey, you guys. What would do you guys think that we have had a good run with the summer show? Because
I thought you guys did fine.
Yeah, it would. I'm just asking because it would be nice to know. Because since we do this mainly for ourselves and for the fans, it would be nice to know what the actual fans of our show thought about it.
You can send us feedback on our Tumblr.
Yeah, and guys, seriously, if you didn't like a certain episode or you didn't like something, we're not going to get pissed off at you. I mean, Kaleb, he can be he can be really sassy sometimes. As can I. But seriously, as long as it's
I take criticism. I can take feedback.
My favorite shows so far were Tom last, 2 weeks ago. Tom was amazing. And
I wish I was there.
Tom, the level of thought that Tom has put into his meta is just... I'm sorry, finishing off the show, Brian. It's just amazing.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, he thinks actually thinks better than a writer. He's at a totally another level, and just the level of intelligence and thought, and I was just blown away. There's stuff I had never even thought about, and then I'm just listening to him and going, "Oh my god, yes!" It was amazing.
I get embarrassingly fangirling about Tom stuff.
I guess mainly the thing I'm worried about with the show is just I think with the summer thing we kind of messed up a little bit because we started doing this sort of fan generated thing before we got our foot really into the fandom. So I feel like we should have waited on something like this. That was mainly my problem.
Yeah, but Shannon, the thing is, if you remember, pretty much everyone we have on has a really great time here. And to me, that's the most important thing. It's the people in fandom that we make happy, that are happy to come here and talk with us. And that's, honestly, the most important thing.
And also the viewers. We have gotten another sweet anon recently about we helped someone through an issue because they listened to our show over the summer.
Yeah. So, honestly, it's all good.
I mean, you guys have been downright entertaining.
Thank you. So, I think we should go to the fan work section now. And
yeah.
So, Jenn, when did you start writing fic?
Well, supernatural fic or fic in general?
Yeah. Well, you can do both, really.
Because I wrote some really horrible MacGyver fics when I was in 8th grade.
Oh.
It's okay. I wrote some really awful Naruhina fics when I was in 8th grade.
It was a lot less time ago for you than it was for me. But I published the first chapter of my first fic back in October. So it's been almost a year for that, too.
Ooh.
I didn't write any, sexy stuff until, I guess, April, when I started cooking with gas. And I wrote the sexy stuff. And it was fun.
Sexy stuff.
The sexy stuff.
I like the sexy stuff.
Me too.
So do I.
Mm-hmm. I like writing AUs. They're fun.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. There's actually a question about that.
Yeah. AUs, I find that AUs are, to me, a lot more creative most of the time.
Yeah, I think I would agree with that. Somebody asked me the other day why I don't write my original fiction when I write such good AUs, which was a huge compliment. It was Latin. But, I think the reason is it's a lot easier to go into it, and, everybody knows Dean and Cass and Sam and all them, and all I have to do is just basically build a story around them. I don't have to build their characters. I don't have to build their worlds. It's so much easier. And it's, when people are constantly reviewing your fics and saying, oh, I like this, it keeps the fire burning, and it makes it a lot easier to keep writing.
And also, I think AUs are a fun way to sort of explore traits in a character in canon that wouldn't normally get explored a lot.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think writing fanfic has made me realize how much I don't want to be a writer.
It's actually made me realize just how much more I really do want to do it, and I need to really bust a move on my original crap.
Yeah, I think I think with me it was just I realized honestly I realized through fan fiction how I guess how thorough you had to be whenever you wrote something, and then I realized I'm way too lazy to be this thorough. Because I mean, with fan fiction, it was always so easy for me to write, just because a lot of the stuff you really didn't have to explain, just because people already knew it from the show, and you really only had to explain the new stuff that you added to the characters from the fanfic. But then I realized that, oh shit, I have to write my original characters. I have to write exposition. I hate exposition. I hate writing exposition. It's the most boring thing in the world. So I was like, yeah, I can't do this no more. So, and that's why I just completely abandoned my original wants and needs to be a writer just to be an actor. So, yeah, so I left one really hard career to get into to try and pursue another even harder career to get into. So
I'd love to be an actor. That would just be amazing.
I'm hoping the college that I'm going to is going to be able to help me find work, because they said they would, but I don't know.
Shannon
What?
likes to play roles and doing what he's told.
Oh God!
Kaleb.
Reminder that one of us, Kaleb, on the show is underage, and they do not like your little innuendos.
Oh, please.
Yeah. That's why I said shut up about that till November. Then we can do a special episode focused on your private life, but right now...
Or lack thereof.
Oh. Now my husband is yelling.
Okay.
It's
So,
loud in my house. I could go hide in my closet.
Who is your favorite character to write as?
Oh, come on. Y'all know that. It's Dean, obviously, because I see so much of myself there. It's alarming. From the car thing to the music types, and then the attitude and the looking out for the little sister, or, well, my little sister, little brother thing. It just, I see so much, and it's so easy for me to hear him in my head because there's so much similarity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I really liked when I wrote fan fiction, I really liked writing for Dean, because like I can I've talked about this like tons of times on the show, just because I can relate to the whole Big Brother thing.
I have no trouble writing for Sam either. Cass is the one I struggle on.
I suck at writing for Sam, and I'm really good at writing for Cass.
I walk that line between making Cass too Spock or Data-like, and I don't want him to be that way, or I write him way far out of character. In fact, one of the things I did hear about Cooking with Gas is that Cass was way, way, way too out of character.
Yeah, I feel like with writing for Cass, for me it was always easy, because I would always I would write him thinking in his head, and I would write him doing the certain like Cass mannerisms, and it was always easy for me because I'm really good at empathy. I'm really good at being empathetic. You can ask Kaleb; he thinks I'm just annoying at how empathetic I can get with people. So I can sort of, I guess I have a sort of understanding with characters, which is why I really like TV show. It's really good for me. It's really easy for me to relate to a wider variety of characters. And so when I sit down and I try to write for Cass, it always becomes really easy for me, because I always register that he's not necessarily emotionless. It's just that his emotions are different from us, and that you can't write him experiencing things and feeling things the way that we do. So I always try and make emotions whenever I write Cass. I try to make them seem like they're alien to him. Like maybe he'll describe to himself what it feels like moving, or like inside of himself, inside of his grace, or something like that. Like I won't describe emotions the way that people do. I won't make Castiel walk around and do things like people do. Like whenever I used to make him walk, I used to make him walk very stiff and sort of like a soldier would, sort of like someone who didn't know how to really use their body would. It was sort of just, I really loved writing for Cass, just because it does do that thing where it takes you out of your comfort zone to the point where it is comfortable eventually. So that's why I really like writing for Cass. Liked writing for Cass. Did that make any sense?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, good.
Yeah, I did.
Because I always get so worried when I go on these long tangents and I'm not making any sense, and then I'm just rambling on.
It's okay.
I don't make any sense 90% of the time, so it's all good.
Well, like, Jen, we've had several discussions about the way you write Dean and Cass, which were more like rants on my meta post. And, like, how would you characterize your manner of writing Dean and Cass? Because I do think that it's kind of particular. It's, like, I had that post going around about, like, my annoyance about out-of-character Cass when he's too wimpy.
I have issues with that. I don't know. I tend to, like, when I build a setting for them to be in and everything, I try and write stuff I already know. Like, I try to write places that I've been, because I like realism and fics. The three things that piss me off the most is weak, wimpy, stupid Cass.
Yes.
Military fics that are done very, very badly. Being a military wife, like, the first thing I pick up is when the rank structure is wrong, or when somebody decides, let's throw Sam Winchester with his current hairdo into a military uniform. No, you can't do that. You can't. Okay. That makes me crazy, and I don't like when they make Dean into this one-dimensional, non-emotional character, because they do that to him too. They turn him into this, I'm afraid of my emotions to the point where I can't show anything.
Macho man bod.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. So,
that
makes me crazy.
And I think that's because a lot of people interpret the characters the wrong way. Like, they interpret Dean being this macho guy, meaning that he's obviously not going to show anything. No, that's not true. What's going to happen, what with Dean, he just shows them subtly. There's subtle things that he does in the show that you know he's feeling a certain way. Like, it could be like his eyes change or his face changes. He shows and he feels these emotions.
Oh, Jensen is like the master of the internal monologue, just in his facial expressions. I mean, you can watch him. One of the best examples is the episode Clash of the Titans, when Sam is trying to reason with Artemis, and Dean is just going through this whole litany of faces. And it's just comical to watch him do that. And it's like he's saying so much. Or Lazarus Rising. He spends the first 10 minutes of the show not saying a word and says so much in that chunk of time without even talking.
And I think, and one of the worst, and whenever I sit down and I read a fic, what really just sort of grinds my gears is whenever they have Cass being too formal. Like, he'll, instead of calling Sam, he'll be like Samuel, and I'll just be like, what the fuck? Okay.
It's the Data Spock phenomenon. They want to turn him into Spock or Data, and he's not.
I mean, I would... Well, go ahead, sorry.
He's been watching Humanity all this time. He knows how to pass as human. Yeah, he may not get that reference, but he still has a sense of humor.
Yeah, and...
He's got a very dry sense of humor. And
it's not that hard to not get a reference.
Yeah, and the thing is, the way Cass talks has changed. You know, like, it's a progression from season 4 to now that Cass talks a lot more like Dean does right now than he used to. Right now, he wouldn't say this is a den of iniquity. He would go, it's a strip club. You know?
Yeah, and, like, I think I remember, it's like Tom's thing just reminded me of this. I remember reading a fic where Cass was human, and he got a boner, and he didn't know what it was.
What is this?
Oh, no.
I remember just sitting there being like, have you watched season 6?
Yeah. Oh, great. Now he's got a boner.
He wasn't even like, and it was so, I remember looking at his face and seeing that. He wasn't even like wondering what it was. He was just like, why is this here?
Down like, oh, yes, I do.
Like, it looked like he was going to take like a sort of magnifying glass and study his new boner.
What is this?
Not because he didn't know what it was, just because he wanted to understand more as to why it appeared on his vessel's body. He wanted to know. He wants to know the mechanics of a boner.
Yeah.
He knows that boners.
If the pizza man truly loves this babysitter, why does he keep slapping her rear?
Yeah, he doesn't know the antics, but
this is what you do now? Sit around watching porn with Angel? We're not supposed to talk
that means that means that Jimmy was into spanking.
I don't think that's necessarily so. I mean, there's probably a lot of other things being featured on screen that he could also be into.
Yeah, but I like to think that Castiel looked at the spanking, and that's when the boner happened. Because notice how right after he said that, he looked down and saw the boner. So you're just sort of like, oh!
Are we really having this discussion?
Yes, it is happening, Jen.
We had extended discussion about glowing merpeens, so I think we are.
Remember that time when I was going to write the boner meta, but I never did? I should do that.
Do that? Oh my god, you didn't write the boner meta.
Yeah, I never wrote the boner meta. I said I would, but I never did. Anyways, so yeah, Cass knows what a boner is. Cass is smarter than, like, an infant. And you know what? It's really hard for me to write for Sam.
I have no trouble writing for Sam.
I think it's
Sam is the other half of me.
I think it's because as a character I don't really relate to Sam as much as I do the other characters. And it's not because like he is sort of just it's not because he's any less of a character, it's just like as a character he hasn't really gotten too many emotional sort of arcs past the first and second season.
Completely different, because I relate to Sam on the level of doing the wrong thing for the right reasons, because that has been me my entire fucking life. I totally get from where he's coming with that. I understood why he did what he did with Ruby. I understood that he's driven by the I'm going to do the right thing no matter who gets in my way, no matter if it's right or not. He's driven by that. That is Sam's whole function. I'm doing the right thing, but for the wrong reasons.
Stop treating me.
The wrong thing for the right reasons.
I really connected with Sam in the first 2 seasons. And then in the 3rd season onward, I felt myself getting more and more alienated from him.
I love Sam. I love Sam as much as I love Dean. I love Dean a little more, but I love Sam.
Yeah, when starting the show, I loved Sam and Dean at the same time, the same amount. I just loved them for different reasons.
Okay, I'm going to be honest. When the show started, I thought Dean was kind of annoying.
Really?
You were supposed to.
Yeah, because I don't know, because I felt like I had seen it already. Like, you had that stereotypical macho guy in the group, and he's just like,
you were supposed to see him that way, and then
I know.
So like Faith turned everything on its head.
Yeah, I know, and like he slowly he changed for me so much, and then it's just him as a character in the beginning just annoyed the piss out of me. I did not love Dean WinJennester in the beginning.
You are me.
My headcanon on that was that he was sure Sam was going to leave him again, so he stayed as aloof and obnoxious as he could to protect himself.
Mm-hmm.
So that when Sam did leave,
that's exactly how I saw it. Oh my god.
He was protecting himself because he figured if he didn't let himself get fully attached to Sam again, then when Sam eventually left him, which he was sure Sam was going to do, that maybe he'd be able to handle it.
Yeah, and I really love Sam because I guess it's because I think the reason I started not liking him past season 3 and past season 2 and onward was just because I felt like the writers were trying to make you like Dean more. Like, do you get where I'm coming from? Like in season 3. Like in season 3, you got Dean who sacrificed himself. You got a lot more emotion with Dean in the later seasons, whereas I felt like they sort of nulled it a little bit with Sam. Not in season 3, but sort of onward past that. Like in season 4, to me, it felt like they were trying to make Sam really unlikable, and that's just because I didn't relate to him in season 4 until I went back and watched through season 4 and season 5 and all that, and I got a better understanding of his character. So I remember watching.
I felt like that.
Yeah, it's sort of just. I guess it's just me. I don't know.
No, I bet it's not just you, but I don't know.
Like, I never full-on hated Sam. I got mad at Sam a lot, but that was just because by the time season 4 started, I became a much more Dean person. But now,
Sam, I could always see his why, the reasons why.
Yeah.
Yeah, same.
It kept me from hating him because I could see his motivations.
Yeah, same.
That's why I didn't get mad at him during the whole soulless things and the Ruby things and the wanting his own life thing.
I love Soulless Sam.
He was so damn
Soulless Sam was hot.
Oh
he was so hot, exactly.
Well, after, like, I guess it was because I sort of...
I can tell you the funniest story from that time period, too. Go ahead.
I guess it was because when I was watching season 4, it was before I really tried to sit and understand people the way I do now, and I feel like I'm sounding really pretentious when I say that, so I'm not going to say that anymore after this. But I sort of just didn't understand. I was like, Sam, why? You know it's not good. You're drinking freaking blood from a demon. Stop. So I would get so annoyed and frustrated with him. But when I watched through it again, and I sort of realized what he was doing, and I got a better understanding of what he was doing, it turned me into a Team Free Will person instead of just a Dean person or a Cass person. So, yeah, that's my whole spiel.
Do you remember the episode with the shirtless pull-ups?
Yeah.
Yes.
I watched those first 7 seasons on my iPhone, okay? And I was holding it over my head, and he starts doing that, and I dropped my phone on my face. I was like, oh my god!
Jen, I am a sexually frustrated little gay boy. You don't think I would remember that scene?
I remember thinking, wow, because I felt like that was the first time they like really beefed up the sexuality of a character, and I remember sitting there like, I must have watched that scene like 10 different times, just sitting there in my room, rewinding it and pressing play, and rewinding it and pressing play. When he took the dollar out and he handed it, he had that smolder on his face, and I just wanted to
stop it.
I wanted to lick him.
Talk about
my whole relationship with
down into his jeans that like this. Oh god, those hips just like, oh god, that's sexy.
See, my whole relationship with Sam's character in terms of being attractive was like, look, you look pretty hot, but you have too clear of a moral compass for me to get really attracted to you. And then Soulless Sam happened, and I was like, yeah.
I remember my little brother. He's just recently started getting into the show. He was like, "Why is Soulless Sam being such a dick?" And I was like, "John, it's because he doesn't have a soul." And he's like, "Yeah, but," and I was like, "You can't really." And then I told him, and then I explained it.
Empathy.
And then I remember talking to him. I was like, "John, when you don't have a soul, it's kind of hard to be empathetic towards people because you're going on your base instincts." And then he was like, oh, because he's really scientific. So when you use words like base instincts and stuff like that, he understands things better. That's why he doesn't get into shows like Supernatural, which really is weird to me because he'll watch My Little Pony, Friendship is Magic, but he won't watch Supernatural.
Hey, don't say anything about My Little Pony.
Whoa, did we just lose Jen?
No, I'm laughing.
Oh, because like there was just a sort of like silence that went into my
head. There was like this weird audible silence that just happened.
Pony thing, and I said, "Wait, I thought he was the straight brother."
Hey, just because you're a brony does not make you gay.
Oh God.
Yeah, like I am a brony. Oh wait,
you're not a good example, Caleb.
Oh, gosh.
A friend of mine, her boyfriend is a brony, and he's as straight as they come. He's a little too straight, if you know what I mean.
Okay, guys, we should really get back on track here. So,
yeah.
Jen, what is your favorite type of fic to write?
Well, I'll be honest, I like canon, but I'm so much better at the AUs. Because I make mistakes when I write.
Let me guess. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to go off on tangent and just guess. Let me guess. Angst. You like angst, right? Let me guess.
Oh, yeah.
There we go. Okay.
Okay.
Fluffy fluffathon.
Like.
You like fluff too?
Cooking with Gas is, I'd say, 75% fluff.
Ooh.
Okay, like, I don't like writing. I'm sorry. I don't like writing canon fic because I feel like there is so much pressure on you to write canon fic. Because if you release a fic and you label it as canon verse, then you better have all of your facts straight. Because if you don't, there are going to be people that will tell you, and then you'll just feel so bad because you're just like, I tried my best.
You have to have your facts straight. You also have to have your characterization spot on.
Which is why, generally, when I write canon fic, I disclaimer it, say it's canon divergent. I cover my ass.
Like, I remember I over the summer, I had gotten into reading and writing fan fiction last summer. Not this summer, last summer. And I had started one of those Drabble-a-day things, like they give you a like little one-word prompt that you had to do, and I really had a lot of fun with it. And they started out being completely disconnected stories, but then I just turned them into like a sort of series that continued past Purgatory because the season hadn't come on yet. And then I remember just reading over them and realizing how wrong I was. Because I had been so confused as to why I hadn't been getting any reads, because I thought I was pretty damn good. But then I was like, oh shit, no I'm not. Fuck. And then I deleted them all.
Finished multi-chapter is chock full of canon mistakes, and yeah, not pretty.
So yeah, I started trying to write AU, and then I realized that, and when I started to write AU, that's when I really realized I hated writing. I hated, like, not hated writing, I hated trying to figure out my own content, because I had to be so thorough. Like, if I wanted to make a medieval AU, I would have to do all this research, and I hate research so much, about medieval times, and I would have to do research about how, like, other schools in the U.S. works.
That's Sam.
That's why you write stuff that you're actually interested in researching.
Yeah, I know. But, like, with me, whenever I try to write, I get this amazing idea in my head, and I'm really excited about it, and then I realize I have to put work into it, so I'm just like,
Well, Shannon, that's how art works, too.
Yeah, I know.
Welcome to reality, Shannon.
Yeah, welcome to reality.
And, like, yeah, I know, but that's the thing, and then I remembered there was one thing that I liked doing research for, and that was researching characters and stuff like that, researching like languages and speak and how you're supposed to talk. Like, I really like doing accents. I am trying to learn lots of different accents, and I like doing that. I like when it's for acting, I'm really good at researching, but when it's for like writing and implementing the knowledge that I have, it's just no.
Caleb, there is something wrong with you.
I'm just really passionate about my ponies, okay?
I noticed that when you ponified all of us.
I haven't ponified Jenn.
Oh,
yeah, you should ponify Jenn.
But no, okay, I'm going to go off on a tangent for a little bit. Because it's about My Little Pony. My little brother, he almost stopped watching it because my mom thought he was weird for watching it. And it made him feel like shit. So I always defend him when he wants to watch his My Little Pony, okay?
Hey, my 4-year-old has the Hello Kitty book bag.
Yeah, I know, but the thing is, my mom...
It's just My Little Pony. I grew up on it, and it's creepy.
No, it used to be creepy. It's actually really not creepy anymore.
No, look, I have an 8-year-old girl who's really into it. It's still creepy.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then. Well, the thing is, I guess I get really defensive over it because I'm really defensive over my little brother. Over my family in general.
Oh, yeah.
And it's like, he's always been kind of, it's really weird. Everyone thought that he would be the gay one.
You know what? I actually had the same kind of thing going on because when I was a kid, I was really into G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, which, same company, Hasbro. Mm-hmm. And I wanted the toys, and my mother was like, nope, you'll grow up to be a lesbian. At 8 years old, she's telling me this shit.
Like,
Jesus. You can't play with G.I. Joes.
It does run in the family. Both my uncles are gay. Hello.
And like my mom, when she's so deathly afraid that John's going to end up realizing his homosexuality, because in her words, she says she can't handle two in the family, and I was like,
it's not a disease. It's just you. Oh my god, I hate this shit.
And I was just like,
happened to like sort of kind of the same thing happened with my mom, because when I was trying to explain everything about me to her, she was like, but we don't have gay people in the family. I'm like, Mom, we could have had 25 latent bisexuals before me or you. You do realize that. It is like that.
I wanted to play with little men. How is that going to make me gay?
True.
And you know what? And John, he's like the least gay person ever. He has a thing for redheads. He loves Felicia Day. He thinks she's the hottest thing ever. And I'm just like, if only she would realize that.
Yeah.
So anyway,
I'm just sitting here in my.
No one cares about your perfect family, Kaleb.
Yeah. They're not perfect. They're just not homophobic, and I'm really thankful for it.
So, Jen, what type of scenes do you struggle with writing the most?
All of them.
Oh, Jen.
Okay. This is me trying to write.
More than two characters. Multiple people talking. Trying to keep the voices separate without having to keep going, well, such and such said, and then somebody else chimed in, and blah, blah, blah said, and blah, blah, blah said. I have difficulty keeping conversations between multiple characters realistic.
This was me whenever I actually tried to write. If you look on the chat screen, you'll see.
What the hell is that?
It's supposed to be a Captain America cookie, but he's just like done with the world, I'm guessing. Whenever I tried to write, whenever I used to try and write and think of how I was going to implement these scenes into words, that would be the look on my face. I would get this like glazed over look in my eyes, and like my mouth would open slightly, and I'd try and I'd think, and then I would like I turn off my computer.
That it would actually look like you.
Oh my god.
Okay, we're going away now.
Photoshop Shannon's hair onto that cookie.
Oh god, no!
Do it.
Your wish is my command.
Oh god!
Yeah.
Yeah,
I'm being such a creep right now. I'm sorry. I'm like staring at my neighbor.
This is Karen's fault. This is Karen's fault.
Why?
Because she said it first. I'm watching you.
My neighbor just came out of his house in like a really pink pants, and it just distracted me.
What?
There's a neighbor. I had a neighbor across the street.
Anything to distract you.
Came out of his house in like really pink pants, and I'm just like, whoa.
These
oh my god,
happen.
I'm looking at the cookie now. My stream is like way late.
Okay, so we gotta
I'm definitely photoshopping here on that.
We gotta get through the last of the questions here. So, Jen, do you have any favorite artists or writers to recommend, or pieces?
Wise, read Redemption Road. I don't want to hear how long it is. It is the quintessential Destiel fic.
Everyone wrecks Redemption Road every single
and then
time. I'm waiting.
Inexhaustible Silence of Houses, and All Things Shining, and
Twist and Shout. Twist and Shout.
I hear that one is heartbreaking.
What? All of them are heartbreaking. I read the cry ones. I read the cry.
What did you think of Twist and Shout?
Can we not talk about that? Moving on. Go read all of Andy's stuff. Andy's in fiction. You have to read his travels, especially the Seven Sins set.
Seven Sins. Yeah, I recommend
Soldiers, it. And then the Yankee Candle one, and then the Starbucks one that he wrote the other day. He doesn't get enough reviews, and I don't know why, because I love his stuff. He does this whole stream of consciousness thing that is, oh Jesus, I just knocked my soda over. He does this whole stream of consciousness thing that is amazing. And Last writer, I love everything she's written. It's all good. It's amazing.
Go read his half fic, half recipe things. He says they're weird, but they're like awesome.
He says his fic is weird. His fic is great. Artists, I love Pap, and I love Art Medica, and Petite Madame is probably one of the best ones out there.
Oh, Petite Madame.
This chick, Silven Horror, she's really good. Check out Silven Horror, she's really good.
Oh my god, shut up.
I heard she really sucks.
No, you're wrong. She's amazing. She did this window, and I wanted to join the church because it's just this window of castiality, and I love it. And she puts on bathing suits made out of
Horror,
tea
isn't she that? Like, yeah, Silven Horror. Isn't she that like hot chick that posts her boobs every Tuesday?
Yes.
I heard that her paintings might as well be finger paintings.
Yeah, well
I'm just kidding, sir.
I remember she did like these gladiator photos, and they were like amazing because she like did them like 5 seconds.
Oh my god.
Have y'all ever like seen those characters in TV shows where they like try and be all mean and then they feel really, really bad about it, so they just go back and apologize really, really fast? That's me.
Yeah.
That's what I do. I'm really sorry. I think you're amazing.
I know you do. Thank you.
You don't take anything that comes out of your mouth seriously, so it's okay. So yeah, that's my list.
Gosh. Yeah.
But yeah, I think Silven is she's a babe. She's Russian, just gorgeous, talented, perfect at everything.
She needs to have a more Russian accent.
No, then we would not.
I've heard her
She
talk.
sound like a Russian doll.
I've heard her talk.
Like what? Like this?
Yeah.
Have you heard Silven talk?
Super hardcore Russian accent, but it's like super annoying because I really hate it.
It's like when people want me to talk in my country twang. I don't like doing it very often.
I can't do accents.
Like, I'm so scared of moving up to New York City because I just know I'm going to have a bunch of people asking me to talk country, and I'm just going to be like, you talk New York then.
I just came from New York.
So weird because
it's not that bad. It's not that bad. It'll be okay. What I think is funny is people pick on my Baltimore because I say things like Washington,
because
D.C.
I grew up out, but I never had Washington.
Yes. My posse, they pick on me because I have this Baltimore thing going, and I'm like, I say things like Washington, and that I have to wash my car, to wash my dishes, I have to put oil in my car, gotta get out the lawnmower. Oh, Karen, I'm not coming back to New York. I was in New York. You saw me, for Pete's sake, woman. We rode the subway together, Karen, remember?
This is Karen we're talking to.
Don't you remember anything at all, Karen?
It was late at night, but it was in New York, and it was... Can I just say, I want to go back to New York, like, right now. It was amazing. Like, the first time I've been there in, like, 10 years, and I just...
My accent is weird, because
you just sound gay, Kaleb.
Oh my god, that was my first impression of him when I heard his voice. He sounded so gay.
I sound gay.
You just sound like my uncles. I was like, I'm totally used to you.
I mean, like, I know that...
But sometimes I say things, like, oh.
But, you know, since I'm going to actually say you sound more flamboyant, because I know there are some people who would take more... You do sound kind of flamboyant sometimes. Like, when we talk, you can border flamboyancy.
I'm glaring because I don't want to be a flamboyant. I don't want to be campy.
Stage of the show where Jenn is just giggling for no reason.
Caleb, just embrace it.
It's not a bad thing. I mean, there are certain times of day when I get flamboyant. Like,
I should get super flamboyant. I haven't even gone full gay on you yet.
Oh, you should see me. I remember one time we were in Greensboro in North Carolina because we were doing a National Beta Club convention. And my friends, all of my friends, the only friends that went that I had that I liked talking to, because, you know, in high school you have those friends that you like to talk to and those friends that you really hate to talk to. So, me and my friends that I like to talk to, they were all girls. They all needed to do some shopping. So, we went to places like Victoria's Secret, and we went to places like all that, and I remember it being such a blur. And then by the time I was done, I was walking with like one leg in front of the other, and I was holding shopping bags, and I was talking about I was actually telling them what kind of panties they should buy because they looked like more fashionable and more comfortable. And I was telling them how to be really. I guess you could say someone, like, I think one of them said I borderline stereotypical with that when we went shopping. And that always happens to me whenever I buy clothes. With friends. When I'm buying my own clothes, I buy, like, crappy t-shirts and, baggy pants. I love Maria. She goes to, Victoria's Secret to sit.
Victoria's Secret doesn't sell bras big enough for my boobies. They don't.
And like I remember,
can't even order them online.
I remember getting weird looks from parents who were walking their kids around, seeing me in Victoria's Secret, like holding up panties and asking my friends what they thought about them. And I remember I would always get weird looks. So yeah, that's just that happened.
Sometimes, whenever I'm shopping, I get campy on my sister on purpose. I'm like, what do you think of this shirt? Is it good on me?
But no, that's legitimately how I get when I'm shopping with my female friends. That's how I'll get, because I guess I lapse into their mindset, because they all act like that. So then I act like that out of just my mind automatically makes me fit into the situation, I guess. So I'll adopt their personality traits for a little while.
Okay, and lastly, if you could recommend some of your pieces, Jenn.
All of them. Don't read Self-Inflicted. Dear God, I should delete that thing. Self-Inflicted is a mess. I love Cookie with Gas very, very much. I'm very proud of it, but my favorite is a straight-up Jenn fic I wrote called Lost and Found. That is my favorite of all my fics. And I'm really, really arrogant. I like to go back and reread my stuff all the time.
Oh, actually, so do I.
I think a lot of people do. Because
the main reason
you're really
I
proud
write
of something, you want to read it again. You're like, wow,
well, the main reason I write is because the story I wanted to read wasn't out there, so I wrote it. But right now I'm working on 2 Big Bangs, and they might get done, they might not. I think Gemma's going to help me a little bit with the one.
Gemma?
Her idea, yes.
Jamar
Gemma dropped a video in my lap one day. It was, I don't know if you guys remember the show Miami Vice, but it was the piece from Miami Vice where Tubbs and Crockett are driving through Miami and In the Air Tonight, but Phil Collins is playing. And I was like, oh my god, I have to AU this. So I've built this whole big AU, and it is angsty and horrible and the most broken Dean I have ever written. And he is so messed up. And I am very, very, very excited about this one.
I have no idea. I have no idea what Miami Vice is.
Oh, children. You know, it's funny. I know y'all probably tired of hearing me talk about Andy, but we have this little group of friends, and they're all in their 20s, and Andy's 30, and I'm 36, and we'll crack these jokes, and we'll laugh hysterically, and the girls are like, wait, what? Because they didn't get our jokes. There's a lot of that reference going on around here. So yeah, that is me. This was fun!
It was super awesome. I really enjoyed this.
We need to have you back when the season begins.
Oh, okay. I have thought of an idea for the premiere party. It can be just like the finale party. We can have people on for like 10 to 20 minute intervals, and it can be sort of an all night sort of thing, you know?
Yep, exactly.
So, Jenn, we could have you on for the premiere party. I have my bedtime's at 12:30 now, so I can stay up all night long.
That kind of depends on when, because I know Jenn and Andy are doing a really awesome thing, so it depends. Did you manage to match up your thing with the actual premiere date, or have you booked everything already for the week after that?
we lost the original place, so we're trying to find another place right now.
Oh.
And I don't know what's going on. I'm still trying to find my freaking costume. Hard being a big girl sometimes. The thrift stores are not as friendly to the big girl.
I'm gonna pop some tags. Only got $20 in my pocket. I'm hunting, looking for a come up. This is fucking awesome.
I did not understand that reference.
Walking to the club, like, what up?
Oh my god, you did. Oh, that's sick. We're making you watch the video.
Wait, what? Jen?
My
you
music.
To thrift shop?
My music is Dean's music. I listen to the same 5 albums over and over again. I sing along. I'm annoying. I know that, but that's me.
Tom.
Yes, I'm with Tom. I will agree it's Tom.
Anyways, so yeah, guys, if you want a premiere party and you want to be on the premiere party, then please send us emails. We have all of our contact information on each of our
it's on
blogs.
It's on the blog. Check the blog.
And the blog. And you can send us messages about that. And if you could please spread the word.
Mapal, when she gets back, we'll get her to make like fancy posters and stuff.
I could do it. I just, it would have to be either during the actual episode or after the episode goes off, because before the episode we are LARPing, and I'm one of the...
You're LARPing too? I'm LARPing. Not that day, but I'm going to LARP.
I'm a LARPing lead.
I want to LARP. LARPing sounds fun.
I have LARPed before.
So
even my husband is LARPing. It's alarming.
That's awesome.
My husband is being, if you're familiar with the Rising Sun comics, he's being H in Father Thompson's body. It's going to be interesting. There will be demons in it. And I probably just gave away a major plot point, and Andy's going to rip me a new one.
Okay. So, guys.
Jen, why can't you keep your mouth shut?
So, for the premiere party, it's going to be. I want to try and get this sort of planned and set really early, so that way, like, we're not scrambling to get everything together like we usually are before every show. So, guys, we really would like a lot of publicity. So. We need you guys.
We just want to be famous.
No, we don't want to be famous. Okay, I kind of do, but I care more about you guys more.
Someday he'll be standing up there in front of us.
Yeah, guys,
I'd like to thank all the people that listened to me when I was on Profound Radio.
Oh, please. Like if I actually become a well-known actor, I'm still going to do Profound Radio every week. I'm going to be like... No, I will. What else am I going to do? Date? I can't do that.
Yeah, man. Brad Pitt.
Brad Pitt's way too old. He's like, ugh.
Hey,
oh my god.
Wait, whoa. Brad Pitt is 4 years older than me, you big jerk. He's not too old. What the hell is wrong with you?
Okay.
He might be slightly older.
Okay, so...
I know he's my age range. That's just messed up right there.
Okay. We've got to end the show now. I was kidding about Brad Pitt, everyone...
He is old. He was born in 1963. In Oklahoma!
Okay, we have to end the show. I'm going to end it like this. You guys, if you want to be on the show, please send us like times you might be done. If you don't know until closer, then we will keep slots open, like last minute slots open until like the premiere. But spread the word about us more, because we may have lost some momentum since summer started. Send us what times you would want to be on if you could do it, whether you want to be on during the show or after the show, or just send us a bunch of messages. And if you want, you could even send us stuff that you think we should do during the party. Like what? Like if we should talk about fan
musical
work.
chairs.
Yeah, we could all play like internet musical chairs where we take where we run around our laptops and the last person to sit down
And then
just
we can hear Shannon fall over. I would love to hear Shannon fall over and like crash, and then you hear like him disconnect. That'd be fantastic.
If I disconnected, that probably means I'm dead. I'm just putting that out there.
Are you gonna set up a Kevin Tran like email to like send to all of us?
Yeah, I'll be like, guys, if you're watching this video, that means I disconnected and I died.
I need all of you.
It's all your fault. I'll just like get really, really intense and just be like, it's all your fault, you mother. Yeah, that's what I'll do.
Okay.
So we are 2 minutes past due, so we've got to go.
We should go, yeah.
We will
Thanks for being on, Jen.
Yeah, thanks for being with us today.
Yeah, thanks for being on, Jen.
This was super fun. I think we would all agree that we would love to have you again.
Yeah, I loved having you on. And since you got on, you coaxed Kaleb to be on, which means I don't have to do any link work, so yay!
Kaleb loves the Jenn stuff.
There's no denying.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, bye everybody.
Yeah, bye guys!
Bye.
Sayonara, bitches.